situation. This morning, Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks released a statement on the latest with Kyrie Irving, saying, given the evolving nature of the situation, after thorough deliberation, we have decided Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with the team until he is eligible to be a full participant. Kyrie has made a personal choice, and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team, and we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. It is imperative that we continue to build chemistry as a team and remain true to our long-established values of togetherness and sacrifice. Our championship goals for the season have not changed, and to achieve these goals, each member of our organization must pull in the same direction.
Well, you know I agree on this. I said this yesterday. I understand that players and stars have power in the NBA. I get it. Like, I understand. You know, people say, well, nobody goes to watch a general manager. Well, nobody goes to a baseball game to watch a GM. Like, we all know players have power. In the NBA, more so, because there's fewer players,
Yes.
and one or two great ones just have huge. But this is a team sport. Okay, you have to. We found out from Brooklyn last year. Not only do stars not mean everything, but bench players become huge. Milwaukee was the best team. Phoenix maybe had better individual stars, top three. And I just think it tears at the fabric of why you and I love sports. It's community, it's team, it's sacrificing. And I know Kyrie's great, but I think I like that the Philadelphia Sixers and the Nets have said, no, this is about us, not about you. It's about we, not about a me. And I think it's the right signal, because I think Brooklyn has made a bunch of changes since Kyrie got there. They got rid of the coach, they got rid of their bench, they got rid of their chemistry, and he has to sacrifice too. KD sacrificed. Harden's had to sacrifice. Harden's becoming the big distributor.
Right.
Well, then you have to sacrifice too, Kyrie. It can't all be about you.
Well, yes. And, you know, people are going to start yelling and hollering about freedom because they don't know what the definition of anything that they say is. But he's absolutely free to make this choice.
That's right.
They're not sending him off to vaccine jail. He is free to choose not to be vaccinated. But if he chooses not to be vaccinated with the current protocols, then he cannot participate fully.
That's right.
This is a team sport, as you just said, which means you're not available. We do a show. If one of us showed up half of the time, half of the year, we would not be contributing to the show.
That's right.
You would, the company would say, thank you for your time. Perhaps we'll pay out your contract, but we're going to bring someone in who comes in to work.
What did we argue last year, Joy? I think we both argued this. Our concern with Brooklyn, you liked him more than me, but even you were concerned about the chemistry because
Yes.
they never played together. Well, how in the world are you going to create chemistry if every other day Joy wasn't at work or I wasn't at work?
Yeah.
Like, part of why this show has worked is we play sick, we play hurt, we're here almost every day. So you create chemistry. Well, in basketball, the idea that he won't be here for home games. What? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And some away games.
It's so
And some
ridiculous.
away games as well. So he's under contract for $34.9 million this season. So each missed home game is going to cost him a little over $380,000 per game. So throughout the season, he would lose about $15 million if he continues to not be vaccinated through the rest of the season. The first regular season game is next Tuesday against the Bucks. And again, we know the local restrictions are where he plays and other places around the country. You don't have to agree with them, but the reality is this. He doesn't care that much about winning a championship.
That's right.
Which is his prerogative.
That's right.
And everybody doesn't have the same goals.
That's right.
But you can't tell me that you want to win a championship and you want to not be vaccinated
Yeah.
when you know what the current situation is.
Yeah.
You made the choice. You're free to make it, but that's just the bottom line. So San Francisco quarterback Trey Lance suffered an injury Sunday that might cause him to miss time. Kyle Shanahan said yesterday that he has a knee sprain, Trey Lance, and might not be available for the next game in 2 weeks against the Colts. The 49ers are on their bye week this week, so they do have a little bit of a break there. He did say after Sunday's game that Jimmy Garoppolo, who's recovering from a calf injury, when he's healthy, will start. But according to reports, there's been no setbacks on Garoppolo, and he looks to be on track after the bye. So Nate Sudfeld is the third-string quarterback for the Niners. But once again, 49ers dealing with a rash of injuries.
I mean, at quarterback, has any organization dealt with more injuries? I mean, I guess it's bad luck. Maybe it's the style of play. It's a very physical organization. They play a very physical brand of football, but you can't, this is, like, one of the reasons Dallas is good this year, they're mostly healthy. DeMarcus Lawrence is out, but, like, the offensive line has mostly been healthy. Like, it matters.
No, I believe that especially this year being the first year with the extended season, whoever wins will likely be one of the healthier teams.
Yeah.
Now, look, that matters all the time, but when you have an extra game, it's going to be even more important. And when you look at the NFC West, obviously we know what's going on with the Seahawks, which is a disaster, but it's very quickly slimming down and in what is a great division to the Cardinals and Rams, and it might come down to which team is the healthiest out of those two because, you know, Russell Wilson's out, and now the 49ers are dealing with injuries again. So, speaking of those Cowboys, they've won 4 straight games. They look very strong. And Amari Cooper said that his eyes are set on the prize at the end of the season.
On a roll like this, it's just you start thinking about a Super Bowl. You know, I mean, that's just the reality of it. And you start to want it more and more and more and more the closer you get, you know. And you just start to worry about the little things more.
Now, people are going to kind of pick it apart.
I don't, listen, he's right. When you're good, the big stuff is good.
Yes.
So you start worrying about the details. But when you watch them play, there's only one coach in the league that has not had a stinker game. Mike McCarthy. Green Bay's had one. New England, Belichick's had one. Cliff Kingsbury, they didn't play that well this week. Like, Dallas has played well every week. Even their loss, they outplayed Tampa. They outgained them and outplayed them. Dallas has not had a bad Sunday. Not one. They haven't even had an off Sunday. They've been fantastic all 5.
It's just
magic.
but it's the Cowboys. Like, there's a little bit of anxiety for me in jumping all the way in. Now, I thought they were going to win the division, and I thought that they were going to be much improved from last year. But again, like, I need to see it in the postseason because we've seen this from the Cowboys before. We've seen them do this. What can you do in the postseason? That is going to be my question for them because they clearly have the pieces that they need. I love Dak. Their offense is clearly incredible. They have one of the best receiving corps in the league, and their defense is finally where it needs to be competitive. They're currently favored by 4, according to Fox Bets. They play the Patriots this week in Foxborough. They've never won against Belichick as a coach and haven't won a game in Boston since.
With Lamar, you got to spy on him. You can't overcommit to him. You can't be too aggressive. You'll get humiliated. I mean, if a safety comes and misses on Lamar, he's off for 50 yards. So, and also, our brains are sort of almost sometimes, I think, constructed. We see something, and we get used to seeing it for years and years and years and years. So our brains are used to just accepting a certain way a quarterback should play. And with Lamar, a lot of it's kind of deconstructing how we look at quarterbacks. It's like Kyler gives you a little bit of this, but not as much as Lamar. It's a little like Steph Curry. For years and years, I was just so confounded. A lot of star players did not respect Steph Curry. And he wore pharmacist shoes, and he was skinny and kind of frail, and he was shooting shots that you would get yelled at or benched in high school, college, or the pros. And now Steph Curry is probably, as KD is finding out, the most egoless, selfless, greatest point guard after Magic Johnson of all time. I mean, Magic's the only one you can even really compare to him. That's it. I mean, because he scores at such a high rate. Magic could score, but did everything else really well. But like Steph Curry now is the second best person ever at the position. And it should be noted, both Magic and Steph don't look like your traditional point guards. Magic was a 6'8.5" point guard. That was the size of power forwards. And then Steph Curry doesn't look like your big, broad, strong, tall. He puts his glasses on, the pharmacy shoes, walks in. It just looks like a dude, right? And so I think sometimes you got to recalibrate what we think great is. And when somebody is so unique, it is hard. You just can't quite figure out how it's working. Remember, players for years and years would take Westbrook over Steph Curry, and you're like, wait, one's a guard and can't shoot, and one's a guard and he's the best shooter of all time. I don't understand it. I think the data is obvious. Now, everybody gets it now. I mean, Steph could have been the MVP last year. But when you look at Lamar, it's like you can't win a Super Bowl running. Can't win a Super Bowl. Should he be favored to win the Super Bowl? Find me all the teams better than Baltimore. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line.